Hi everybody, my name is Jay Mandarino. I am the chair of this event. This is our 13th year. Of course, this is our first virtual event. And I want to thank you all, and on behalf of my co-chair Lawrence Barnes, CEO of Learning Disabilities of Ontario, he wishes to thank you and thank you for your support. And of course, I've been on the board for 20 years and the chair of this, and I want to thank all our sponsors and of course our major sponsors, Heathbridge Capital, National Bank of Canada, and CJ Graphics, and of course everybody who supported this event. It's my great pleasure to welcome Colin Mochrie here, who's going to be entertaining us in a little while. And Colin, you know, you've got an incredible past from where you started from, and it's amazing to watch. And as a Canadian, and you're very funny and very humble person. Maybe share a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I've been incredibly fortunate that I'm making a living doing something that didn't exist when I was growing up. Yeah, I went to theater school, then I saw a demonstration of improv and was fascinated by it, mostly because I'm lazy and don't want to learn stuff. So I thought, oh, you just make up crap, and I'm really good at it. And it was just something I enjoyed doing every weekend. And then Whose Line came along and gave me the chance to make it my profession. So thanks to Whose Line, I've been able to travel around the world doing improv with a lot of great people.
Yeah, I mean, you know, look, this hour is 22 minutes. Gilda's, you've done work for Second City. I mean, you've been all over and done amazing events. Now, I think what people don't know, and I hope I'm okay with asking this,
Oh, that's fine.
but you know, when we talk about learning disabilities, and you know, for those of you who have been following this, you know, I attempted suicide when I was 9, no self-esteem, and LDAO really helped me get back on track. But you know, all of these things, I hate the word disability, as you all know. I know that's what we have to label it, but you know, learning differences, we all learn differently. And people judge us, and you know, it's a cruel world sometimes. People don't mean to be cruel, but I think you have a story that is pretty amazing, that's touched your heart and is now touching others, so I would love if you'd share it.
My daughter came out as trans. So I started off with a little boy, and now I have a lovely daughter. And I mean, when she first told us, my wife Deb and I, our first thing was her safety and her well-being. And we knew, not as much as we do now, but we knew statistics were not great with trans youth being accepted by their parents or by whoever. But throughout this, and with Kinley teaching us about it, we've learned a lot about the community. We've learned, well, you're talking about how people are different, and the world, amazing things have been made because we're different. If everyone was the same, how horrific would that be? It's differences that help people think outside the box, that coming up with amazing ways to help society and help the world. And going through this journey with Kinley has just been amazing, and taught me how education is important. A lot of the fear or whatever it is to this community is all through ignorance. My wife's family is extremely conservative. To a person, they accepted Kinley without a thought because they knew her. And since that, they've educated themselves on everything. And education is so important on how to deal with everyone who's different.
You know, and it's, I've done some work, you know, we've done fundraisers together, and you know, you learn all about these different things, but you know, the suicide rate and the acceptance rate in the trans community is astronomically high. I mean, most people coming out don't even want to share it. They don't want to tell their parents. They're afraid they're going to get kicked out of the house, and you hear these horrible stories. So I think that's amazing that you guys have welcomed your daughter, and I look forward to meeting her one of these days. And you and Deb have done a great job. And I think what this all ties into is, you know, we all can be who we want. You should never be ashamed of anything. If you want to be a boy, you want to be a girl, you want to be whatever, you're like this, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want, that's what matters. And we have to support that. We don't have to agree with it, but we have to support it. I might not like this sport, but I'll go watch the sport. But we have to all be open and accept everything. And same with learning disabilities, it's the same thing, you know, some of us learn faster, some of us don't. So all these funds go to help these programs and help kids. So really appreciate you coming out and thank you, and great Canadian. I'm sure people still think you're American.
Yeah, it's a slow process, but they're starting to learn I'm Canadian. I'm pushing it as much as I can.
Well, they say, well, you know, he's such a humble guy, so polite, he's got to be Canadian.
Exactly, that should be a dead giveaway.
Well, Colin, we're going to have some very funny skits, I'm sure, coming up soon. And I want to thank you for taking the time, especially during these challenging times we're all in. So thank you to Colin Mochrie and all of you, and stay tuned and watch for some entertainment. And the live auction's coming up with some great wines. So salute.
All right, so I'm very excited to start work here with my new improv troupe. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, my name is Jay Mandarino, president and founder of the CJ SKATEAPARK and School, and board member for 20 years at Learning Disabilities Association of Ontario.
I am Lorena Urrutia Mandarino, Jay's wife.
I'm Shannon Malik-Shorani, Executive Director of CJ SKATEAPARK Foundation.
Colin Mochrie, Canadian icon. So we're going to make up a scene, and it's going to be the alphabet sequence. So that means the first person who speaks, their sentence will start with A, the next person's sentence B, C, D, E, all the way through the alphabet. So could we have a place where 4 people could meet?
School.
A school. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, I know it's been a tough year, but the grades that everyone is showing are not up to par.
Because we're at home half the time, and half the time we're not.
Because that's the way it needs to be done.
C, you're a C.
Definitely, because COVID has been really challenging for everybody.
Everybody knows that, but I also think we're falling back on old teaching techniques instead of finding a way to excite the kids. How can we excite these kids to learn?
Entertainment, energetic, just get them motivated.
Fuel them with motivation.
Give them some urgency to learn.
How can I say this delicately? You're not thinking outside of the box. Yes, we should energize them. Yes, what I like is fueling them. We have to find a way to fuel their curiosity.
Illinois is probably too far to send them, so let's keep them here.
Journey, journey. Where do we send them? Keep them, send them, thinking.
Kentucky, maybe we send them to Kentucky?
Let's just put a kibosh in moving the students away from where we are. We are the teachers, we should be educating. We can't put them somewhere else.
Maybe we can.
No. Maybe we can. I don't know.
Or we can just send them home again.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. It is our job as teachers to educate them. We cannot move them all around the country or the world. We have to take responsibility. There are charges. We have to inspire them.
Queen Elizabeth is still over in England. We still work with her. Maybe she has some ideas.
Ideas. Rockets in the rocket. Rocket, send them in the rocket to the moon.
Shoot, well, I just don't know what to do.
That is an understatement. It seems nobody knows what to do. The pirate wants to send them to the moon. Let's figure out how we, in this particular school, can help our students learn better.
Underwear is not going to solve anything. We'll figure out where to put them as a group together. It's the best we can do.
Simply, where we can put them, simply we can put them in a pool, in an empty pool, all together with a desk, with the teachers and some apples to brighten their ideas.
What about if we just get them to teach themselves?
Xylophone music. I read somewhere that constant xylophone music excites the brain cells and make people learn. All we need to get is a couple of xylophone players, put them in each corner of the school. The music will excite the students, the grades will go up, and we'll get our funding.
Young people, they're all young. I'm sure that they'll be able to do whatever we suggest.
Later is not.
Yes.
Z. Yes. Zoom calls. Zoom calls. We can do a class or with Zoom people, so we all can give an ideas, and when they do class on Zoom, nobody knows who's cheating. That's not a good idea.
For those who are following along, at times we went into the Peruvian alphabet. But still, we followed the rules. So I'd like to thank my improv troupe. Thank you so much for all of your input. All right, we're going to do a little improv game, a little living room improv. I'm going to tell a story. Throughout that story, I may finish my complete my sentence, and then I will point to you and you will finish, either with a word or with another sentence. Try to make sense in the grammatical sense of the word, but other than that, just have fun. Don't worry about being normal. Here we go. What could go wrong?
I don't know.
Good. Perfect. My name is Dick Danger. I'm a private eye. I work in New York, the Big Nickel. There had been a big robbery at the museum. They had stolen a 15-carat
Diamond with a banana ring.
diamond with a banana ring. It belonged to the Monkey King of Egypt, circa 1 AD. It was the most valuable diamond known to man. And the banana was made out of chocolate. Nothing better than chocolate that has been aged centuries. People all over the world wanted to taste this chocolate. What was it like? But it had been kept under armed guard, safe for years until now. I was called by the police chief to help out. He found one clue. Over by the museum, where the diamond had been, he found on the floor
Another ring.
another ring. That may confuse some people, but being the private dick I am, I knew exactly what it meant. A jeweler had taken this. Probably while he was taking it, a ring from his previous work had fallen out. I ran over to the museum. I looked at the ring. I picked it up. Inside, there was an engraving. It said,
I like red wine.
I like red wine. There was only one area in New York that liked red wine. The winery at the edge of town. It wasn't a very well-known winery. All the wines were made actually with raisins. It wasn't popular, but it was the war. It was starting to catch on. I made my way to the mansion. It was giant. I've never seen such a big, big house. Outside was a ferocious
Lion and a tiger.
lion
Panther.
and a tiger and a panther. Whoever was in that house wanted no one anywhere near it. What a perfect place to hide a diamond banana. I had to find a way to get past the panther, lion, and tiger. I looked around. Over by a tree, I saw
A rake.
a rake. Having studied animals for all my life, I knew that the only thing that scared big cats were rakes. I picked up the rake, ran towards them, shouting. Twice I did that. It was such a high pitch, their sensitive ears burst immediately. They fell over. I raked them over to the side. I made my way to the door. It was a giant door. I opened it. There in front of me was a beautiful woman. Her eyes were like emeralds. She had long blonde hair. She looked at me and she said,
Wow.
I get that reaction a lot. But she wasn't going to deter me from solving this case. I suppose you heard about the ring and banana that had been stolen from the museum. My trail led me here. What do you say to that? She smiled. Nothing came out. Well, she was going to play cagey. I started to walk around looking like I was just aimlessly wandering. There on the writing table, I saw
A little mouse.
a little mouse. Around his lips, ages-old chocolate. I knew the diamond was somewhere near. I made my way over to one of the drawers, pulled it, and there it was. The beautiful diamond with the banana. So, baby, you did take it. She looked at me and said,
Oh my goodness.
that didn't fool me. Oh my goodness, had nothing to do with it. Then I noticed she had a gun. The gun was pointed right at me. I looked around for a weapon, but all I could see was
A broom.
a broom. Luckily, from my travels around the world, I knew that the only thing that scared a woman with a gun was a broom. Trust me, I picked up the broom. I hit her with it. She fell over. She hit her head against the side of the table and fell down. I called the police. They came over. The police chief was very happy I'd solved the crime. He looked at me and said, I'm going to give you
A huge hug.
not really what I wanted, but I took it. It was the war. Hugs were in short supply. As they took the beautiful woman into the paddy wagon and drove off, I thought, how did this ever happen? What turned this beautiful woman to a life of crime? I remembered the words of my father, who on his deathbed looked at me and said,
You can do it.
you can do it. What he meant was taking my foot off his air hose. He died shortly after that. But then I realized, yes, I could do it. Yes, the world's a crappy place sometimes. Murderers, crime, theft. But today I made it a little safer. Today I made the world a little better. I walked out, I turned on my transistor radio, and from the radio I heard,
Broom. Good morning. How are you today?
I tuned into Good Morning Alaska, where they just got a cold snap. It was going to be a good day. Thank you to my lovely assistants. Hey everyone, thank you once again for being here tonight. All proceeds from tonight will go to,
LDAO.
and
CJ Skate Park.
see, all done without rehearsal. All right, we're going to do a little improv thing right now. All right, you're gonna love this. My two lovely volunteers. I'm going to do this will be a sound effect scene. So I will tell a story. Throughout that story, I'm going to need a sound effect. When I point to you, I want you to give me the sound effect that should go with what I'm talking about. All right? All right. How about, if I get from one of you, a dangerous occupation?
A what?
A dangerous occupation.
Wow.
Zookeeper.
Zookeeper. I don't know what zoos you hang out in, but all right. All right, great. A zookeeper. I was having a beautiful dream when all of a sudden the alarm went off.
Beep, 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 beep.
It was an alarm that I bought at a second-hand place. It rarely worked, but the laughter and the beep really got me going. I knew today was a big day. Today, they were bringing in some pandas. I had to be very protective of them. There were some panda kidnappers out there who wanted them. Being a zookeeper is not all fun. I went and made myself a quick breakfast. It was made mostly of aluminum because I find that the more metal I have, the better I am ready to face the day. I got into my little cart, making my way to the entrance of the zoo. The doors opened beautifully, as they always did because I was the zookeeper. All doors to the zoo opened to me. I walked past the monkeys. They were tweeting something about the giraffes. I didn't have time to check it out. Seemed like a beautiful day. Over in the corner, I saw our Papa band was starting to warm up.
Papa, papa.
They were pretty literal. I went over to where they were delivering the pandas. Day, as I said, was beautiful. Up in the sky, 2 eagles were flying. One was dead and a ghost. The other one seemed quite healthy. I made sure that the panda cage was beautiful. I made sure that there was plenty of bamboo for them to eat. There was some hay. I piled the hay into a nice little corner with a broom I'd used earlier. Suddenly everything got quiet. Too quiet. I realized the truck should have been here an hour ago. I went to the front of the zoo. I looked around. I picked up my phone. I dialed the truck driver's number.
Boom, boom.
I had a rotary cell phone. Very rare. It cost me a fortune. The truck driver didn't answer. That must have meant trouble. I went around to the back of the zoo. There was the truck. And there was the truck driver giving the pandas to two shady men. The pandas were squealing. Like that. Well, I had no weapon. I looked around. I saw a large piece of wood. I hit the first guy in the head. His head exploded. I didn't realize I hit him that hard, but I didn't care. I was going insane. I had to save the pandas. I went over to the truck driver. I said, why did you try to sell the pandas? I needed the extra money, he said. Then he took out a gun. He shot.
Boom.
Hitting a cannon behind me. The cannon went off, hit him, he fell over dead. I took the pandas. They were so happy that they had been saved.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
They posted a video on TikTok. Everyone loved it. It became the big thing. And because of that, everyone came to the zoo to see the pandas. You know, being a zookeeper is not an easy job. It's dangerous. But when you have pandas who have that kind of technology, it makes the job a little easier. I went back to my room, safe with the knowledge that the pandas were safe. The zoo was going to do very well. I opened up a little bottle of champagne. It took 2 tries, but I finally did it. Then I drank. I looked out as the sun slowly set. I put on some of my favorite music.
Boom, boom, boom.
It started to strip, because that's how I relax after a long day. Being a zookeeper is fun. Thank you to my 2 lovely assistants.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us this evening, and it's been very entertaining with Colin. And I want to thank all of you, and we're just getting ready for the live auction. There's some great wines there. Remember, not only are you getting a great wine, but you're helping make a difference in others, and especially our young children. So I think that's great. And I want to thank Colin Mochrie, who has been amazing and very entertaining, and thank you for taking the time to come out here.
Thank you.
And I guess we still got a couple minutes, we should do something.
Sure. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're very honored to have with us today on What the Hay, a man who is teaching zebras how to get ready for the water polo event in the Olympics. Tell us, how did you get interested in this?
Well, you know, it's funny, because I tell a story all the time. Zebras, what people don't realize, is they're not really zebras.
What?
They, in fact, are penguins dressed up as zebras. And as you know, penguins are incredibly intelligent. So why wouldn't I want to work with intelligent animals?
So you get the penguins, who naturally are comfortable in water, teaching them the rules of water polo. Did you find that difficult?
That's putting it mildly difficult. I mean, trying to get a penguin dressed as a zebra in the water is hard enough. They float.
Well, what is the zebra suit made out of? I would think that would be very cumbersome to deal with.
You have no idea. And I have no idea.
Oh,
But yeah, I know. It's, you look it up, you can't find any. We had to bribe them.
the penguins. What do you bribe penguins with?
So this is a funny little thing.
Okay.
Once I was on a trip in the Arctic, and of course there were penguins there, not just the zebras, of course. Yes. And they eat this small little fish called a kahoya. Not to be confused with the kahoya, but it's a kahoya.
Totally different.
Totally, and yeah, just much more well behaved. They will do anything for a kahoya.
Oh, well, and I wish you much success in the Olympics. I know you had a little trouble in the Commonwealth Games when 3 of your team drowned.
You know, we don't like to say drowned. It was an accident, and you know,
They were breathing impaired.
the funny thing was there was no water in the pool.
Oh.
I know. So they actually hurt their necks, and yeah, they died. And it's been very traumatic. And 3 of them, when we buried them, actually it was confusing because they were still in their zebra outfits, so they didn't do a proper penguin funeral, which was very sad.
That is very sad. Well, I see right now the protesters from PETA are heading this way, so I'm just going to sign off right now. Thank you, and good luck with your time in the Olympics.
Thank you very much. That was not rehearsed at all whatsoever. So Colin makes people feel comfortable. He's obviously the master, and that was great. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're gonna actually have to give you air high five, elbows. I guess we can do. And thank you for helping helping us raise money for great charity.
My pleasure. Keep spending.
Hey everybody, Colin and Jay back here. I hope you're all bidding on the auction. You know, Colin, I know you love wine,
I do love wine.
and this is. I'm not going to drink a whole bottle, but I mean, this is one of my favorite wines. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, this is one of
Should I
my
have
favorites. It comes. I mean, I went for the small one because my back's been out, so I thought I'd go for this size. But yeah, this is a good night. Have that and a little bit of Breaking Bad.
Well, there you go. And anything to encourage people to bid and
Yeah,
help with
bid.
the charity?
I find when you're bidding like for things like wine, drink as you're doing it. It really relaxes the mind and relaxes the mouth and the wallet, which are things that all need to be relaxed during an auction.
This is so true, and that's why I try not to do breakfast auctions, because I need the
No.
more you drink, it makes my job easier. Now, there's a new COVID test. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No.
So apparently with COVID, you lose sense of smell and taste. So you take your wine glass, swirl it on, smell it. Okay, so I did that last night, no problem. Then I tried some, tasted it, and I'm telling you, Colin, I did 20 of these tests last night, and I don't have COVID. I was so happy.
That's good. You know what? This is the kind of responsibility that makes this country great. Make sure you don't have COVID by drinking as much wine as you can, smelling everything you can, and that's all I have.
Thank you. We'll get back to the auctions. Thanks for joining us. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for spending time out of your personal time, of course, and time is precious, for joining us this evening. I hope you had some laughs. I hope we made you laugh. I know some of us felt silly, but you know, it was entertaining, and it's all for a great cause. So on behalf of Learning Disabilities of Ontario and CJ Skate Park, I want to thank you all. I want to thank you for your sponsorship of tonight. I want to thank our main sponsors, which were Heathbridge Capital Management, National Bank, CJ Graphics, and of course Learning Disabilities of Ontario and CJ Skate Park Foundation and CJ Skate Park. Huge thank you, warm-hearted thank you to Colin Mochrie for taking the time out to provide some entertainment for us, and more importantly share his personal story, which I thought was really amazing. And you know, we all learn differently, and I think we all have to be open and not judgmental and work with everybody. We all have challenges no matter who we are. To all the students and teachers out there, keep doing what you're doing, working hard, helping our kids and youth get the best education they can. So thanks everybody. And of course, a big shout out to Lawrence Barnes, my co-chair, and of course the committee who spent countless hours organizing this, our 13th year. So we hope to see you all next year for the 14th. I don't know if it's going to be virtual or if it'll be live, but regardless, we're happy to see you. If you do want to make a donation, feel free to reach out to us, www.cjskatepark.com or www.learningdisabilitiesofontario.com, and you can have a full tax receipt. Thank you, enjoy your evening, and most of all, be safe and be well during these challenging times. Thank you.